Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No? He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
Do you regard your NATO allies, though, as kind of like children, and they're obviously listening to you and they're spending more, and you're obviously appreciative of that, but do you hope that actually they're going to be able to defend themselves, defend Europe on their own?
I think they need help a little bit at the beginning, and I think they'll be able to, and I think they're going to remember this day. And this is a big day for NATO. You know, this was a very big day. They took it. One of the gentlemen said, you know what, we've been trying to raise money raise the rate for 30 years, he said, 20 years, from almost the beginning. And he's been there for a long time. He said, until you came along, it never happened. What you did is amazing. It's been sort of an amazing day for a lot of reasons, but also for that. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think they can do it without you, though, in the future? Can they do it without
Well, ask Mark.
States?
I mean, you have to ask Mark. They're not going to be fighting each other. They've had it. They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes. Then it's easier to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
You have to use strong language. Every once in a while you have to use a certain word.
The daddy thing, I didn't call him daddy. What I said is that sometimes in Europe, I hear sometimes countries saying, hey Mark, will the US stay with us? And I said, that sounds a little bit like a small child asking his daddy, hey, are you still staying with the family? So in that sense I use daddy, not that I was calling President Trump daddy.
Okay, so does this mean that, in a sense, the Europeans are growing up now? They will be less the children and the US less the daddy?
They already had grown up, but I think they realized, because of Russia, because of this US demand, which is only fair to equalize the spending, that this had to be done, and that today had to happen, and it creates a NATO which is so much stronger and more knitted together, the fabric of that organization so much stronger in the future.
For Ukraine, coming not just from other allies,
it will cost a lot, absolutely, but let's also face the fact that Europe, the European countries, are 10% of world economy and 50% of worldwide spending on pensions, social security, and healthcare. That's fine. I mean, I'm not arguing with that. But it means that there is a lot of money. My country is one of the richest countries on earth, this country, the Netherlands. And most European countries are in the top list of richest countries on earth. What we now have to do is to make sure that they move from 2, when it comes to the core defense spending, to 3.5%, where these countries spend 12-13% on health, 10% on pension systems, 10 to 15% on social security payments. This is doable.